exception to that word, let me know, because I don't mean it any differently. You said something earlier you're working on, which I think is brilliant, and it deals with perception.
Yes.
Your parents escaped, not escaped, but your parents.
They were political refugees.
They were.
So they essentially escaped.
Tell us about your parents.
So my parents.
Besides making cow tongue sandwiches at tea parties.
So my parents fled the former Soviet Union in 1985, and by way of Italy, they were able to come to the United States in January of 1986 from Lithuania as political refugees because they had faced tireless, limitations. My dad being Jewish and facing anti-Semitism, and my mom not liking the constrictions and the constraints that come with, living in such an oppressive society. And they thought coming to America would be more, positive, and it would be filled with opportunities. And the event that you're alluding to kind of dispel like a bad perception of the conservative movement, it would be an.
Well, wait. So I just want to get your parents' background there. So you have this. Now, let me just do a little introduction here. Sure. The event we're alluding to is you are now going to do a project on raising awareness of communism.
Yes, absolutely.
And now, tell us what the title is.
Sure.
And how you arrived at that title, because again, this is what I think is brilliant.
Sure. So we're thinking of, actually this is in the works of a global communism awareness panel. So essentially, how everyone kind of is attracted to the idea of global and awareness.
Wait, before you got there, though, a typical conservative title would be
anti-communist, yeah.
Because that's what's important here. And it ties into your comments indirectly. Conservatives would typically have a discussion on anti-communism. You're saying, look, wait a minute, liberals are beating us to the punch in pop culture, they're beating us to the punch on messaging, and if we're going to talk about the evils of communism, let's not do what conservatives always do and call it an anti-communism week. Let's do what liberals do. Let's call it global communism
awareness.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it kind of came to my mind like instantly. I thought, what's a better way to market the event and to get more people, engaged, even if they're on the opposition, and maybe even convert them to, grasp the idea that communism is evil if they're doubting it or if they think it's a lovely idea. But I think that will appeal to more younger people because they kind of have this empathy for global awareness.
Something's happened in your experience, I would imagine, in your life, separate from your parents or in addition to your parents, that has motivated you to have a global communism awareness week. What's going on in your life? Maybe at the campus at UCSB that you feel fearful of communism and acceptance for people here in America. Tell us.
Sure. Well, I see these images of, let's say, Che Guevara. I see people. I came across this one drink. I know it's supposed to be a ploy on communism, but my parents found it offensive. It's called Leninade. Like my school markets and sells this drink, like pop drink that has like Cyrillic, highlighting Lenin's key phrases of like reconquering and this and that. And my parents, when they saw that drink, they found it extremely offensive that they would have that kind of thing sold because people are going to have the perception, oh, this is something so cool because it's red, it highlights communism, because to most people it's very offensive. It doesn't matter if it's a joke, it's distasteful. I wrote a post about it on Newsreel blog, which is David Horowitz's blog, and I got lots of responses, positive and negative about it. People who, perceive that kind of gesture to be friendly, poking fun.
Who's behind it,
I forget his name, but he owns a soda company that satirizes like certain phenomenon.
So is it possible that this person is just being satirical as opposed to having a political message?
I would hope he's being.
Okay. You had experience. Your organization brought David Horowitz to campus. Tell our viewers, very briefly, who David Horowitz is, and some of the really shocking reaction that you saw to that.
Sure. Well, David Horowitz is a reformed communist turned conservative, and he works with promoting student activism and rights, and he especially, one of his topics or areas of expertise is exposing the nuances and the often negative, dangerous things that come with associating yourself with radical Islam. That's one of his linchpin ideas. So before bringing him to campus, I wasn't aware that his appearance would coincide with the first day of Israel Apartheid Week, which we have dubbed in the conservative movement Hitler Youth Week, which is co-sponsored by the Students for Justice in Palestine and the Muslim Students Association.
It's called what?
Well, it's officially called Israel Apartheid Week.
What is it?
And it's a week commemorating, it tries to bring awareness to the injustices going on in Israel,
Okay.
so-called
I understand.
injustices.
All right, go ahead.
And so we brought him to campus, and fortunately enough, his appearance, would be more impressive and more appealing because he would, be the counterpoint to, the Israel Apartheid Week
Right.
going on. And
Israeli apartheid.
Yes.
Now I get it.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
So we brought him to campus, and the event went smoothly. No interruptions during the speech, no pie throwing, no obscene gestures or obscene remarks. But when it came down to the question and answer section, one of the members of the Muslim Student Association came up proudly, trying to debunk Horowitz's credibility and say that, well, you link us to Hamas and this and that, but we have to get our own funding and this and that. And he luckily outsmarted her, although her critics to the Horowitz event say, oh, well, he tricked her and this and that, but she admitted her true feelings,
Which were?
that she's for essentially a second Holocaust.
This happened right at this event on
Mhm.
campus at UC San Diego. An event you organized,
Yes.
a Muslim student came out and said that she's for a second Holocaust.
Yes, and she agreed with the notions laid out by the Hamas charter. So essentially that led to the agreement.
And that actually made it or got mentioned on Sean Hannity's TV show.
It was pretty publicized. David Horowitz went on Hannity to discuss that. I was actually supposed to be a substitute for them, but because Horowitz is able to reschedule, I didn't get that opportunity, but that's fine. But Glenn Beck actually mentioned the clip too in relation to David Axelrod not responding to accusations against his mishandling or like his lack of attention to addressing radical Islam.
Okay, all right. That's an important story.
Mhm.
And again, I know people in America are unaware
Mhm.
that these types of conversations and beliefs are occurring on college campuses. I mean, we know that there's a liberal bias there. We all get that. But to have a Muslim student step up to the microphone and say that she believes in a second Holocaust, I know this may sound cliche-ish, let's just reverse it. You, as a Jewish American student, have you stepped up and said you believe in the removal of Muslims from the face of the earth?
Yeah, it would be backlash against me. I would be counted as a racist. They would try to get me removed from the school. There would be all these affronts against me to essentially, have me tarnished.
That's right.